Hey guys, Dylan back here from Seneca Outdoors. I'm home today, not in school. I came down with something this weekend. I was supposed to be at about like 4-day airsoft outing. I got some footage from that. We never even really played airsoft the first 2 days. We fished a little bit, and then I had a tournament Saturday, and I came down with something after that. So my voice doesn't even sound right either. Yeah, so I'm home, and I decided I might as well do a video. Nobody's here to actually kind of interrupt it like they usually do. So today we're going to go over one of my favorite, probably my favorite fall, or my favorite season to fish would be fall. And more in particular, we're going into early fall, which and the bass in early fall go through a kind of a transition going into their fall feeding. They're usually in early fall, they're kind of scattered. It's kind of crazy because early fall is really hard to catch them, but they can still be caught, is what I was going to say. So I got my top 5 early fall baits laid out right in front of me here for you guys. So I'm going to give you guys a quick glimpse at those. Probably going to be my thumbnail, so y'all already got kind of an idea of what I'm going to be going over today. Kind of have to split them up into 3 groups here. They're not really kind of classified anything. I just try to put them in groups to make it a little bit easier for you guys. But really, it's kind of search baits here. I got top waters, and I got like kind of a more of a drop down bait because that comes into play for me in early fall too. Oof. Yeah. I want you all to keep in mind 2 things about this video. One really big important thing that some more younger, less experienced anglers get confused with is that fall for us is different than fall for the bass. Obviously, we know it's fall because we have a calendar, and that we can tell that the air temperature starts to change. Not really now; it's still pretty warm out here in Illinois, in my opinion. But for us, we have calendar, and we can check the weather, and the leaves change, which again, really in Illinois, everything's either green or dead here right now, so still can't really tell it's fall. But the thing with bass is the water temp changes, which will change slower than the air temperature unless you have a whole bunch of cold rains coming in, a whole bunch of cold fronts. But keep in mind that watch the water temperature, not the air temperature. And then the second thing is that these are just kind of starting points for baits in the fall. I might use them in early fall, but these kind of starting points, I also base a whole bunch of different factors. But if I was going on a lake in the fall, I guess these would definitely be the baits I'd be using. I'd probably just pick 3 of them, though. I usually use 3 rods. So, without any further ado, we're going to go over our number 1 bait, which is the chatterbait. Alright, so here I have 3 swim baits. Try to hold them out for you guys. 3 swim baits, all used for different occasions. But first, I want to say what I use them for in a general situation. I use these for search baits because usually bass are scattered in early fall, so you want to go find those bass. So one of the best ways to do that is using a moving bait. And my favorite one used in the fall would be a chatterbait. Now, the reason I have different chatterbaits here is because obviously they have 3 different colors. This one's going to be for your clear water situations, just a plain white. These 2 are the chatterbait jackhammer chatterbaits by Z-Man. This one's in white. This is the original chatterbait in Sexy Shad. And this one's in white and green with a gold blade for those murky water situations. And the Sexy Shad one I will use for stained water. And if this don't work in stained water, I'm assuming it's a little bit too murky, so I'm going to switch to this one. And for number 2 bait would have to be our topwater lures, which is spooks. And these aren't actual spooks. These are both head-on brand lures, but they're not the spooks. This is the actual Bill Dance spin image in a Sexy Shad type color. It's iridescent too, or iridescent. I've been saying that wrong my entire life, but it's nice shad imitation, but that doesn't really matter. What matters is the bottom of this lure is white. And I got a black one here too, and black shore minnow. This is looks like a propless torpedo to me. I don't really know what lure this is, but it looks like a propless torpedo. But yeah, I will use these in early morning usually. An open water type bait, really hard to beat torpedoes or spooks. Not torpedoes, but spooks. Really hard to beat in open water early morning, early fall baits. It just up to what sky cover you got. If you got cloudy, go black. If you got no cloud coverage or very little scattered clouds, go white bottom. Alright, we're on to our number 3 bait, another search bait. One I used to love to fish as a kid, which I'm still a kid, but one I used to love to fish when I was getting more into bass fishing, like when I was like maybe, I don't know, 6 to 8, when I was getting into serious bass fishing, would be the swim bait, a smaller swim bait. Then I got into bigger swim baits, which was just still really fun, but not always the most practical application. Up until early fall is when I like to use them on. And I got 3 baits here. Just same situation as the okay, let me hold these out for you guys. Same situation as the chatterbaits, search baits, 3 different colors. One I like to use in clear water. This is a swimming pogie shad, I think they're called, or just a swimming shad by Berkeley Power Bait. I actually got my dad hooked. These are my little favorite swim baits. I got my dad hooked on them. He loves to use them for everything now, besides the Seneca. But that's in just a pearl shad color. That's for clear water. Just a little bit more stained water would be a Tennessee shad colored. This is a Havoc sickfish, just a regular size sickfish. Really like these swim baits. They're really cheap and just really freaking great. I love how cheap they are. And then we have a little Berkeley Power Bait Pro Shad in Chartreuse Ice. I use that in murky water. And what I really use these for, again, shad are starting to go back in them feeder creeks. Bass are chasing them. And these are just really great shad imitator swim baits. Probably my #1 shad imitator out there. So, of course, I'm going to be using these to find them fish that are chasing shad. Really great imitators. Really good bait to use. And if you're going for a bigger fish, let's say you're in a tournament, caught your limit, big swim baits is the way to go if you want to get a nice sized bass in your live well. Alright, that was number 3. So number 4 would be a drop shot worm. And I just got one bait here because usually I can use this color universally. Just a black and shad colored Berkeley Power Worm. Really great bait if nothing else is quite working and they're deep. You can find them, just throw this on a drop shot rig. Usually I go straight tail. I don't know where my straight tails are right now, so I gotta go look for those. But this is pretty much straight tails. You got a little curl tail on the end there, but really great bait to use if nothing else is working. Throw it on a drop shot. Look for them deep. So you gotta go. So that'd be kind of my last resort bait to use if can't catch anything else. And our last number 5th bait would be a jig, and I love to fish jigs. Again, I have 3 of them here, and as you see, they're dramatically different colored baits, and that's because I don't go too much shad with this kind of situation with jigs. I go more craw, and this kind of situation would be more of a drop-in situation, kind of like the drop shot worm. If I'm in an area where I suspect bass to be, and I don't quite want to throw a moving bait up in there, I'll just drop one of these in on them. So what I got here is for my clear water situations. We got a more natural craw colored bait. This is the Strike King Tour Grade 1/2 ounce football head. I wouldn't usually throw a football head. I can't find my other. Usually I throw a casting or a flipping jig, even usually flipping jig, but I can't find all my stuff. I don't know where it's at. I have to find that. Yeah. Wouldn't usually throw a football head, usually a flipping jig. This is in PB&J. It's kind of a natural craw color. It's got a little bit of purple in there with it. But one other important thing you want to throw with your jig would be a trailer. Usually jig and pig combo. It's a go-to if you got them drop-in situations. This is a little Yum Craw Bug in craw color. This is like my favorite craw to use. I like the Savage Gears too. Savage Gear makes a good, they're 3D craw. Hard to beat, just like this used to be up until Savage came out with theirs. But that's for your clear water situations. For your your stained water situations, this is a really light jig, but it's a really good jig to throw. I'd probably throw a little bit heavier, but this is a Arky casting jig in brown and orange, kind of again natural crawl color, but you got a little bit flare in there for those stained water situations. And my friend actually gave me this because he's always getting me stuff. He's my little fishing buddy. He actually moved out to Nevada. Shout out to my bud JT. Haven't actually used this, but I'm glad he bought me this because this is one of my favorite colors of jigs to use. Love them. Hopefully it's got a good hook on there because number one seller for me with jigs is hooks. But our last bait we're going to talk about is for those. That was for stained water. This is for murky water situations. Dark and a little bit of flare in there. It's a black and blue bitsy flip jig with a black and blue craw bug on the back. This is what I throw in murky water situations if I have those drop in. If I have a little pocket where I think they're in there, but it's really murky, just start flipping that in here. This is a really good jig for that. This is a little flipping jig. I really like to use this one. These are actually all brand new jigs. I just went jig shopping, so I still gotta trim each of these. What you usually want to do is trim the weed guard. Just take a few strands to the side and just snip them. And you don't really want that skirt being too. These skirts are alright. Maybe trim this one a little bit more, but you don't want them too long. Otherwise, they might have a swipe and a miss on them. So those are my top 5 early fall baits. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I also want to point out I have videos coming out soon. It's just really slow because my internet's really slow, and I'm trying to get everything uploaded and edited and everything. This will probably be up before anything else, but I told you this weekend I was doing a whole bunch of stuff. If you follow me on Instagram, you should know that I was doing a lot of stuff. It's all on my Instagram. I'll be uploading 2 or 3 videos along with this one, so stay tuned for that. And stay tuned because I will be coming out with a mid-fall bait video and a late-fall bait video because you can never be too precise with what you're using. So stay tuned for that, and I will get to you guys back in the next video.